as long we are talking about this. You know, the Muslim, they say that the Torah is corrupt, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then they try to witness to us from the Torah that Muhammad is there, right?
Yep.
But isn't it that's funny? And then the Quran in chapter 5 verse 44, it says that Allah trusted the Jews to protect the Torah. So look at this madness. The Muslims, they say Muhammad is the same as Moses, but then the book of Moses is gone. So how we can find he's the same as Moses from the corrupt book? Look how silly. Secondly, then they say to us that we worship one God. And then they say we worship one God, but we kiss black stone and we believe in things that have nothing to do with Moses. And then they add to that Allah, he trusted the Jews to protect the Torah. Chapter 5 verse 44 says that Allah entrusted the Jews. Sam, your English is better than mine for sure, and David. What does trust mean when we say entrust?
That means that he gave it to their care and protection to preserve it.
Yeah, but the trust is mean like you are good, right?
Yeah,
I know you're
trusting you with this because you're reliable. Yeah, like, hey man, I trust you with my money. I trust you with my car because you're reliable. That's why I trust you.
So did Allah make a wrong decision, a wrong trust? Because when you trust somebody, you know. I mean, this is God, right?
Yeah.
So if I am God and I trust you, that's mean I know what you will do later. So when Allah, he trusted the Jews to protect the Torah, do he knew that they are not trustworthy, or he don't know?
Well, CP will be surprised. Shabir Ali now believes that Allah, the future may be open to Allah. He's embracing open theism. Allah may not know the future. So Shabir Ali may say, yeah, he probably didn't know.
Well, he have to come to this conclusion because obviously Allah, he do not know the past, neither the future. Isn't it the Quran says, okay, Sam, for sure you can teach us better in this case. As-Samiri, he met Moses in the Quran.
What? Samaritan, huh?
Samaritan, yeah. In Arabic we say As-Samiri. Okay.
Chapter 20 of the Quran, yeah. The Samaritans did not exist.
So how this happened?
Yeah, exactly.
You know. So which Moses they are talking about? Obviously, even the Moses in the Quran is not our Moses. I mean, how he can be exist in the time of the Samaritan, and this is stupid. So here we notice that the Quran is a book of madness, and it's mixed up. He do not know. Mary is the sister of Aaron, and her father, his name is Umran, and Moses, his father's name is Umran,
yep.
And Aaron, his father's name is Umran. Yep. So now here we go. We have a family. We have Umran, we have Moses, we have Maryam, and we have their grandson. His name is Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. But let me just repeat what you said for everyone so they can get it. Guys, understand what CP is showing you. The Moses of the Quran, his father's name is Imran. That's even in the Hadith. And remember, according to the Quran, Moses' brother is Aaron. And yet in the Quran, the mother of Jesus is the sister of Aaron. That's chapter 19, verse 28. The daughter of Imran, chapter 66, verse 12, says she's the daughter of Imran. And in the Quran, it says that Mary's mother is the wife of Imran, chapter 3, verses 35, 36. The only Moses whose father's name was Imran, who has a brother named Aaron, and Aaron's sister named Mary, is actually depicted as being the mother of Christ, making Moses the uncle of Christ. Because in Numbers 26:59, it says, Amram, his wife Jochebed, gave birth to Miriam, Aaron, and Moses. And yet this Miriam, Aaron, and Moses happened to be the family of Jesus, because Jesus' mother Mary is the sister of Aaron, and her daddy's Imran. So Moses is Jesus' uncle. That's beautiful, CP. I mean, and then on top of that, CP, Musa also must have met Eliasin. Can you explain why in the world Elijah is called Eliasin? I didn't know that names can be plural. I know Elias, but then Eliasin? What's going on here, CP? Can you explain the logic of the Quran?
Well, you know, first there is names in the Quran. We do not know where they are coming from. Yeah. But if you go to chapter Yasin is not Elijah. Yasin, Ya is a word meaning God. Sin is the moon god. Mm-hmm. Yasin, Muhammad, he copied the name, he did not know what it means. If you go to the Quran and you ask the Muslims, okay, what is Yasin mean? You will see, as an example, in many tafsir says Allah knows best. All right, Allah knows best. And then everyone, he start to guess what did the word mean. But the fact, you can go right now and search. You will find that Ya is an old word for God, and Sin is the name of the moon god. Muhammad, he was saying ya seen, not anything. And then the Muslims, they start compromising words and try to make it Elijah when they want. So, I mean, Isa, like as an example, where is Isa? Who is Isa?
Yeah, who is he?
Okay,
Tell me, who is he?
who is Imran? Even who is Israel? You know, and the other day, Sam, there's a guy was making fun of the word Israel. He says not the word. He was saying Israel. He was struggling with God. He was wrestling with God, right? So I said to him, but so why your God Allah he adopted the word Israel? He said what? He said, so if you are making fun of the story, how come Allah he called him Israel? He said, what does that mean? I said, this is what the word mean.
Exactly.
So by adopting the name, you adopt the story. Because this is the word Israel mean. Exactly. So they make fun of the story, but the fact the Quran confirmed the story by saying the word Israel. So the Muslim, they have tons of words in their Quran because their Quran is a counterfeit of other belief. Christianity, Judaism, Sabian, you name it. So like as an example, the Quran says that the father of Abraham is Azar. Who is Azar?
Yeah, who is he? Tell me, CP. You're confused me. I thought it was Terah. What happened?
Azar is a word mean foolish. And Abraham, he was saying to his father, foolish, are you going, this is foolish, are you going to worship idols? That makes sense. And here you see how much disconnected the one who recited the Quran, Muhammad, and the one who wrote the Quran, Waraqa. Muhammad is reciting what Waraqa he said, but he do not know what Waraqa mean. This is why the Quran says there's many verses in the Quran, nobody knows what they mean save Allah, because Waraqa did not explain that to Muhammad.
So I just want to make sure people got what you said. Guys, notice Abraham's father in the Quran, his name is Azar. The Bible says Terah. In the Quran, Jesus' mother Mary is the sister of Aaron. Her father is Imran. The only Mary, Maryam, who had a brother named Aaron, whose father's name was Imran, is the sister of Moses. Eliasin, we have no idea who the heck that is, even though it's supposed to be Elias, even though his name is not Eliasin. But CP, since we're on tawheed, I just want one more verse because you're the Arabic expert. And you can confirm this. Not only do you have in chapter 9, verse 31, where it says, Allah doesn't want Jews and Christians to take rabbis and monks as lords besides Allah and Jesus, the Messiah. So the only Lord Allah wants them to take is Him and Messiah. But is it not true? And you may need to look at the Arabic, and you'll confirm this. Chapter 3 of the Quran, CP, verse 18. I'm going to read what the Arabic says, and you can confirm. It says, Allah Himself bears witness, there is no God but Him and the angels and the men of learning. Isn't it true that in the Arabic, Allah is saying, there is no God but me and the angels and the men of learning? In other words, the Arabic, whoever wrote this or recited it, made a boo-boo by saying that Allah bears witness that He, the angels, and the men of witness are Allah. Can you confirm that, please?
Let us fix something here. Allah here, He didn't say, I witness that I am. Allah, He said, suppose the verse. It says, I will translate exactly word by word.
Please.
Allah witnessed that there is no God except He. And here there's a mistake. Because if Allah is talking, how Allah He witnessed that there's no God but He should say, Allah said that there's no God but I. Or He say, I am God, worship me. And then He says, and the angels and the one with the knowledge, all of them, they are doing, like let us say, like the just, or let us say, practicing the knowledge of Allah, all right, and which is assigned to Allah. So here we find that the angels and people of knowledge and Allah, all of them, they share one thing, and that is impossible.
Wow.
So the structure of the sentence is very funny. And then, by the way, here Allah He witnessed to who?
He's witnessing to Muhammad. Allah is Muhammad's servant. What's wrong with you, CP Abdul? Potato.
No, Allah. When I witness to other. Allah He witnessed to who?
Exactly.
To us. He witnessed to us that there is no God but Him. I mean, that's not smart, because I witness to God, but God witness to who?
Good question.
You know, like, it's about authority. You know, because when I witness in the front of a judge. Somebody is higher than me, and I witness. I make a statement which is, I believe, is true. All right. Now Allah is witnessing in front of who? Nobody saw Allah witnessing. Nobody heard Allah witnessing. Allah spoke to nobody, not to Muhammad, Even Jibreel, according to Muslims, Jibreel, he was collecting the information from the tablet. He did not speak to Allah. So Allah witnessed to who?
That's a good question. Inquiring minds want to know. I would have to say to you, Allahu Alam.
Yo, let me go ahead and add this comment since it's along the same lines. But I noticed another comment from Chandler Burks. He said reason 3. Chandler, I must have missed reason number 2. I was scrolling through, but as people in the chat noticed, we did have a problem. Oh, matter of fact, it's been over the past couple live streams where someone from, I doubt it's from Christianity, has been trying to post porn links whenever we're talking about Islam. So we start talking about Islam, someone starts posting porn links left and right. Anyway, people in the chat told me, hey, you can block people from posting links, which will solve this problem. Problem was I had no idea how to do that, so I had to go and that's what I've been doing over here. I was looking up tutorials on how to block links. Anyway, think we got that problem taken care of. Right here we have Chandler's third reason, which is basically what we just saw from Abu Bakr Ghazali. He said Muhammad preached the absolute unity of God, unlike the Trinity, which is explained differently in all 3 major faith traditions, Catholic, Protestant, and Eastern Orthodox. So Muhammad has a consistent, complete unity in his theology, unlike Christians. So that makes it true. That makes Muhammad a true prophet.
Real quickly for Chandler.
Whoa, one second. I just have to point out here, right? I just have to point out because Muslims rarely think about the implications of their arguments, right? So notice right here, because Sam, he just gave me everything I need to prove that Muhammad's a false prophet, right? Chandler, I hereby, suppose someone comes up and says, hey, I hereby declare that God is an absolute unity. According to the argument that you just gave, that would mean that this person is a true prophet, right? Yeah. So notice, every Muslim who affirms the absolute unity of God would be a true prophet, according to what you just said. If you preach the absolute unity of God, you are a true prophet. But guess what? Muhammad claimed that he's the seal of the prophets. But there's tons of prophets after him because there's tons of people who declare the absolute unity of God. In fact, as we've been seeing, far more than Muhammad actually preached, right? Muslims today, there are lots of Muslims today who believe in a far more Unitarian concept of God than Muhammad believed in. But notice what you've just said. So all these people would be prophets. Therefore, Muhammad's claim that he's the seal of the prophets would be false. Therefore, Muhammad's a false prophet. Thank you for proving that Muhammad's a false prophet. But
now I want to add something, and I want CP to comment, but I do want to answer this question. Chandler Burke, I hope you've been paying attention. CP has just put holes in the assertion that Muhammad taught the absolute oneness of Allah. We just showed that the Quran teaches anything but that. Even though Muhammad wanted to say Allah's one, he ended up saying things that made Allah more than one and actually affirmed the existence of a plurality of gods. But even with that said, among Muslims, even to this day, Muslims cannot agree about the nature of Allah. For example, the Salafi Muslims believe Allah actually has a body. Listen to this, Chandler Burks. I want you to listen to this carefully. Salafi Muslims believe Allah has a body unlike anything in creation, but he has a body. He has eyes. He has 2 right hands. He has a shin. He has a waist. These are actual parts of Allah, body parts, even though they're unlike anything creation. But then you have the Muslims who are known as the Ashari or the Maturidi who say Allah's bodiless. He doesn't have a body, and these are simply anthropomorphisms. So that is a bold-faced lie, even when it comes to Muslims today, let alone going back into early Islamic history with the debates between the Mu'tazilites and what became known as the Orthodox Muslim group, because the Mu'tazilites were influenced by Greek philosophy, Aristotelian logic, and they denied the existence of attributes as separate from the essence. But that's another story altogether. So that's not true. And real quickly about the Trinity. When you talk about Protestantism, if you're talking about Protestants who affirm the Trinity, because there are some quote-unquote Protestant groups claim to be Protestants, but they don't believe in Trinity. The Roman Catholic Church, the Eastern Orthodox Church, and the Protestants who affirm the Trinity all agree there is only one eternal God, and this one God eternally exists in 3 eternally distinct persons. The Father is an eternal person, the Son is an eternal person, the Spirit is an eternal person. They're not the same person, distinct persons existing as one God. Now, how they explain the relationship is the Father, the fountain of Godhead, so on and so forth. There may be some differences there, but the basic affirmation that there are 3 eternal relationships, 3 eternal divine persons existing in one God, we all accept that, so that's another lie. But CP, if you want to chime in, Muhammad taught the absolute unity of God, CP, again.
Hold on. You see, first of all, when he said we Christian, we have different Trinity, this is a big fat lie, because even the Quran say, no, all of us, we have the same Trinity. So that's mean the Quran is a stupid book, because all your Quran call us, all of us, Nasara. So why your God, Allah, did not say, there's Nasara and the other group? That's mean Allah is a weak in knowledge, and he need to go to school. Secondly, isn't it your Muslim belief that Allah created from the sweat of horses? So how Allah is one? Yet he is created from the sweat of horses. That means horses was exist before him. And if you are saying to me, I don't believe in that, this is some Muslims, crazy Muslim believe in that. So how you just said to me, we Muslim believe in one thing? Madness of Islam went beyond imagination to imagine that their God is made from the sweat of horses. It says that the Prophet says, يقول عن أبي هريرة قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن الله لما أراد أن يخلق نفسه خلق الخيل فأجراها حتى عرقت ثم خلق نفسه من ذلك العرق. Translation: when Allah, he wanted to create himself, he created the horses, and then he made it run until it sweat so bad, and then he created himself from the sweat of the horses. My friend, if we go and take your God Allah to the DNA laboratory, we will find that he is from the same family and of horse and donkeys. According to you, not according to us. So how you say that we believe in, we Muslim believe in the same thing? The Druze, they believe that Allah is Al-Hakim bi-Amrullah al-Fatimi, and he have a son, his name is Hamza al-Bahlawan. The Shia, they don't believe Allah have a body. The Muslim believe Allah has a body. As an example, in the Muslim Sunni, if we go to Sahih al-Bukhari, we will find in hadith number 6573, and this is Sahih, that Allah have two shapes. Which one of them is Allah? If you say to me the first shape is Allah and the second shape is Allah, what Allah did to the first shape? He shot it, he burned it, he put it in a recycle machine. How Allah can be two but yet one in the same time? And how Allah have a physical being but yet he has no spirit? And remember, the Muslim, they say that Muhammad is the same as Moses, but the God of Moses is spirit. The first verse in the Bible, or the second verse, says that God's spirit is above the water, correct, Sam?
Mm-hmm. Above, right? The water.
So God of Islam, all of us, we knew that the God of Islam is not a spirit. So how the same Moses, I mean, here we go, even your God is not spirit. So what we left is God who created from the sweat of horses. He might be a mule, and then he have many shape. He changed his shape. He play hide and seek, and then he have a foot. He have 5 fingers. He have an ass. He have a face. He have eyes, but yet he have no spirit. That is a statue. That's an idol. So how you Muslims, you say to me, we have one unique God, when every group of you have total different of God. The Shia, there's many groups, have two different description of God. The Sunni, there's many groups, they don't agree with each other. Actually, the Sunni, they were slaughtering each other about how to describe God. Actually, not only that, the Muslims themselves, they don't agree if the Quran is created or not. Every group have different opinion, and now we have to divine because of that. Because if you say the Quran is not created, that's mean we have the uncreated Allah and the uncreated Quran. As long as the Quran not created by Allah, then we need to ask who is the divine who created the Quran? Yeah. Unless the Quran is a divine by himself. So now we have two divine. So how you have one God, unique God, but yet you have two uncreated divine?
Good question. Now, I hope you guys got your answer about tawheed. That's a myth. Even tawheed means to unify. Any other questions for CP? I'll ask him if there's any.
I mean, if we're ready to go on, we have some more have some more Muslim arguments.
We destroyed the tawheed thing. So,
in fact, we've got the clearest proof you've ever seen in your life here. Ready?
Yeah. What is it?
It's come from Usama's here.